Welcome and hello from Alex, with a story from r/today I messed up, where a guy accidentally sent a sext thanks to a talk-to-text fail. Coming up next is a story from Slade 797. Today I fucked up by asking a man for sex. I am a straight guy. Happened a few days ago. I was on my way to meet a guy I know just slightly to give him a few items for his business. As I was leaving work, I used talk-to-text to let him know I was on my way. I was listening to the radio, and my phone picked up a few words that included for sex. I didn't realize this and told Siri to send it. I read the message when I parked at the meeting spot, and I noticed the bad grammar as well as the sexual proposition. I immediately texted him and apologized. When the guy arrived, he was red in the face from laughing, and I joined him in this. I am not worried about you thinking I am gay and attracted to you, I said. I am concerned that you might think I have bad grammar skills. He's a lovely person, and this turned into a great laugh for both of us, so maybe it's not a fuck up. This story is hilarious. Talk about a case of autocorrect gone wild. Imagine the poor guy on the receiving end, getting a surprise sext from a straight acquaintance. The mental image is priceless. Good on Opie for owning up to it though. And hey, at least it cleared the air about any potential awkwardness and ended up being a good laugh. Maybe next time they use talk-to-text they'll double-check the message before hitting send. Unless, of course, they're looking to add a little spice to their business meeting. Just kidding. Coming up next is a story from palecorefriend. Today I fucked up by showing my coworker a photo of my tits. I am in a long-distance relationship and my breasts have become huge due to hormone changes lately, and I sent my boyfriend a photo of them this morning. Today at work I had to take portraits of a newish staff member for the website and showed her the photos I'd taken, swiping through to shortlist the ones she liked best. I forgot about the photo and swiped onto a photo of my face with my tits out. I apologized and laughed about it. She seemed to just find it funny. I told my manager because I knew she would get a laugh out of it and to get ahead of any possible HR complaint. The co-worker was chill about it but couldn't keep a straight face whenever she saw me today. It was an honest mistake but didn't really anticipate showing the newest hire my nudes. It's one hell of an onboarding process. Wow, Opie sounds like they went on a roller coaster ride today. On the one hand, you gotta admire the confidence of rocking some impressive hormonal glow up, but accidentally flashing your coworker during a headshot session? That's a new level of memorable first impression. At least everyone seems to have a good sense of humor about it. Though, I gotta say, that coworker trying to keep a straight face all day, that's some serious acting talent. Definitely a point for the company culture survey. Coming up next is a story from withasonrisa, and if you like the video so far, don't forget to like the video. It only takes a second and helps me out a lot. Today I fucked up by not picking my kid up for school and going to work instead. My son asked for a ride to school after lunch. I said no, he could walk the 10 minutes and I'd go back to work. He called me to say the dog was following him to school. I told him she does that sometimes, but she'll walk home once he's inside. A few minutes later, he calls me panicking that some older kids let the dog into the school, and she was running all over and wouldn't listen to him. By the time I got to the school, the principal had the dog by the collar and was kicking her out. I've now learned that she took a shit in the hallway, and a student stepped in it. My son is having a full-blown panic attack, and I am just waiting for an angry call from the school. We live in a super small town, and my other kid, who is abroad, sent me a text because she already heard about this whole thing. It happened less than 20 minutes ago. Fuck my life. Oh, what a roller coaster of a day that must have been for Opie. Talk about a series of unfortunate events. I can imagine the chaos at the school with the dog running around and the aftermath of the bathroom incident. And with news traveling fast in a small town, there's no escaping the embarrassment. It's like a comedy of errors, but I bet Opie wasn't laughing at the time. Poor thing. Hopefully things calm down soon. And maybe next time, a ride to school won't seem like such a hassle, right? Coming up next is a story from Hotshot 345. Today I fucked up by taking a screenshot of a meeting transcript and getting Microsoft Teams recordings and transcriptions banned. I've been at my company for about 8 months. I have a reputation for being good at my job, but I am overly sarcastic and jokey at times. My company routinely records and transcribes internal meetings with Microsoft Teams. I was going through the recording and transcription of a call to double-check something, and I noticed that the transcription, for some reason, randomly had a coworker that I routinely joked around with saying, "You're fat." Note, my coworker did not say "you're fat" at any point in the call. The transcription picked it up for some reason. I thought it was funny, so I took a screenshot of it and sent it to the coworker with the note, "Team's transcription thought you said this during the call yesterday." My coworker didn't react to it. I thought they would find it funny and just react to it or whatever. It's not anything serious. And I thought it was funny in context because we are under pressure to start using AI for meeting notes. Instead, I ended up getting a message from my boss and called into a meeting with HR. My boss and HR showed me the message that I sent my coworker. They asked if I sent it. I said yes. Apparently, my coworker alleged that I digitally manipulated an image with them saying something offensive, and they were worried I was going to use it to try and get them fired or something. I would never do anything like that. I just thought it was a funny example of AI's limitations, flaws. I have formally been put on notice. If I mess up again, I am going to be fired. We also got a memo that we are to discontinue using the record and transcribe feature on Microsoft Teams due to privacy issues until told otherwise. Ouch, sounds like Opie learned a hard lesson about the perils of misunderstanding AI. On the bright side, at least they can use the discontinued Teams recording feature as an icebreaker at future happy hours. Hey, remember when my joke got us banned from recording meetings? Hilarious, right? In all seriousness, that coworker sounds a bit oversensitive, but better safe than sorry for Opie. Maybe next time a funny AI glitch comes up, stick to sharing it with a trusted friend over a beer, not a coworker over instant message. Coming up next is a story from Imagination Empty 9552. Today I fucked up by asking my wife if she even wanted me around. So to back up a bit and explain some background, me and my wife have been having several communication issues and been having issues in our marriage because of it. We have been in couples and individual therapy to address this and have been trying really hard to work on both of our issues that were leading to these problems, one of which being a reluctance for her to share her feelings and emotions with me, my tendency to assume the worst in all things. Now with the background out of the way, on to the situation. For the past few weeks she has been very standoffish and cold with me. One-word answers, not really looking at me at all, wouldn't stay near me, and if I sat near her on the couch she would move away, being snippy or angry with me constantly. All of these things have been piling up and I felt myself getting snippy in response and falling back into the habit of assuming the worst and was thinking that she had just given up on working on everything and was tired of me. So in the interest of not letting myself spiral and wanting to give us both a chance to clear the air, I sat her down and said, "I feel like you don't even want me here and would be happier if I was just gone." Because, well, that is how I was feeling and was hoping to get a bit of reassurance. Well, the response I got was essentially, "I don't know if I do want you around." That then turned into a maybe, and then to her asking if I could leave for a while so she could think. So now I am sitting in my truck at 21:30 in the Family Dollar parking lot waiting for a call that looks more and more like it isn't going to come to call me home. Wow, Opie sounds like he's in a rough spot. Here's hoping his wife's thinking time doesn't involve a lifetime supply of discount bulk candy from the Family Dollar. Maybe she just needs a breather to sort through her feelings. But that doesn't make the waiting game any easier. On the bright side, at least the truck is hopefully big enough to sleep in if that call doesn't come. Coming up next is a story from TechFads. Today I fucked up by falling for my realtor. I've been in the market to buy a home for the past year or two, but with interest rates being so high I wasn't in a rush to buy. Anyway, I, male 28, ended up meeting my real estate agent when I went out with friends to a popular local beer garden. She is attractive and I recall her being very flirty. I mentioned I was in the market for a home, and we ended up exchanging numbers at some point. We end up going on what I thought were several dates, and FWIW, I am very shy and haven't had a lot of experience dating. We would meet up after work for a drink or two, and mostly chat about non-real estate topics. This is why I thought that maybe she was interested in dating. We never kissed or anything, although she would sometimes touch my arm or shoulder in what seemed like a more than friends way. She did always seem really busy though, and couldn't stay for more than 30 minutes or so most of the time. After our third date, she told me about this amazing home that just came on the market that met most of my criteria and was close to my budget. The house was move-in ready. Really all I needed to do was change the paint in a couple of the rooms, the cellar renovated and used dark blue paint upstairs. Is this a trend now? I toured the place and quickly decided I loved it and had to buy it. In hindsight, I wonder if I was more excited about my realtor trying to impress her than the actual house. Anyway, I decided to put an offer in, and this is where my first warning flag should have been obvious. She mentioned that there was just an open house the day before I viewed the property, and they were expecting at least a handful of offers from that. When I looked on Zillow, I noticed the property was on the market for 17 days, which I thought was odd that they waited so long to do the open house to get offers. When deciding on the offer terms, she insisted that if I was serious and not kicking the tires, I had to 1. Put 10% hand money down, 2. Offer at least a little over asking price, and 3. Waive the inspection contingency. I've had a few friends get into bidding wars and lose many offers, and they started waiving inspection contingencies, so it didn't seem all that unreasonable at the time. I ended up doing 5% hand money, $5 over ask, and waived the inspection. Big mistake. Fast forward to the inspection. They found the foundation was shifting, and after getting a quote it would cost somewhere around $15,000 to fix, which, ironically enough, was less than the hand money I put down. I begrudgingly decided to move forward because everything else about the home I liked. Everything else was fairly normal, except one thing stuck out to me at closing, and it seemed like my agent and the seller were friends, as when I walked in it sounded like they were chatting about something completely unrelated to real estate. Closing went through, I moved in, and other than the foundation surprise, have been pretty happy with the place. The realtor never was able to meet up again for drinks, surprise surprise, after closing. Fast forward to last weekend, and I saw the seller from closing out at that same beer garden with his arm around my realtor. She came up to me and said that they met at closing and blah blah blah, but I'm mail calling bullshit. I have no way of proving anything, but lesson learned: never waive inspection contingencies, and don't fall for anyone who is making money off their interaction with you. I feel so embarrassed in hindsight. Wow, OP. This story is a roller coaster of emotions, house hunting, potential romance, and a plot twist worthy of a soap opera. Looking back, it seems the signs were there: the short dates, the constant busyness, the pushy negotiation tactics. But hey, love, or the illusion of it, can cloud judgment sometimes. At least the foundation issues seem fixable, unlike a broken heart, although that $15,000 sting might feel pretty similar. The real estate agent and seller being buddy-buddy at closing. Oof, that's gotta leave a bad taste in your mouth. On the bright side, you learned some valuable lessons. And hopefully this story becomes a cautionary tale for others. Plus, at least you have a decent house out of it all, even if the romance turned out to be a major flip. Here's to a foundation that's both literal and metaphorical, strong and secure. That wraps up r/Today I Messed Up. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to visit my Spotify channel, link is in the description, so you can listen to the best Reddit story while being outside, and remember to hit that subscribe button.